When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Red, an infrared light, has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Red Recover can maximize your efforts by potentially improving cellular metabolism, blood circulation, and muscle recovery. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Hurricanes game is over. Time to break it down. It's all about the U. The Edge Energy Drink Miami Hurricanes Postgame Show has made landfall. The Postgame Show is on the SportsTalk305 Network and broadcasting live from Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Visit Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall at 9065 Southwest 162nd Avenue. Enjoy Walk-On's authentic and mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh from scratch. Closes daily at midnight, 7 days a week. Here's your hosts, Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy.
It is over. It is done. It is history in the archives. It is finally in. The Miami Hurricanes win. A brutal game, 14-12. It was one of those games that was hard to watch. The amazing part was you could tell most of us don't trust Jake Garcia. And on that final play, Jake Garcia did not trust his arm either, with a wide-open wide receiver, and he ran it in for the two-point conversion and the 14-12 win. So nice job by Jake Garcia getting in there and getting the victory, Mr. McCoy.
I don't know about you guys, but I am not complaining about anything after a win. I don't care how ugly it is. with the ugly season Miami's had, I'm fine with an ugly win. The important thing was getting out of Charlottesville with a win, especially knowing that FSU handled their business, and now both teams are heading into homecoming weekend for Miami with a win. So you found a way to win. You didn't find a way to lose. Tons of stuff to be worked on. And look, that would have been the case if Miami won 50-0, okay? One game doesn't fix any of these issues, right? But the first thing I thought after watching that game-winning touchdown run by Jake is
what a terrible football game you watched for 4 hours?
Not even that.
Okay.
If I'm Khalil Brantley, I'm kicking Jake's ass. Throw me the ball, man. I was open.
No, I just told you, Jake didn't trust himself, and he shouldn't, by the way. He's a terrible quarterback. Jake Garcia is him and Frank Costa are up there for the worst quarterbacks in UM history. All right, and Jake Garcia is a perfect example of why 4 and 5 stars and 3 stars and all that BS, you never listen to it. Wait till you actually see the player, because now in the last couple of years, I've watched Jake Garcia and Tate Martell, 2 guys that cannot play the quarterback position. So Jake Garcia actually did the right thing. He probably would have screwed up that pass, even the guy in front of him, and running it in was the best thing that he did, even if that guy was wide open. I got to say.
I'm not gonna go as far as saying that he's terrible like that's his first start ever. He has seen the field enough, I guess, for people to make an assumption of him. For me, not so much.
He's horrible.
Because dude,
that last interception, what was he watching, bro?
No.
What was he watching?
I agree. I wouldn't have thrown. And then it was a lazy throw, too. He didn't put any mustard on it.
What's the name of the dude from USC that the Jets drafted and then the Carolina
Mark
Panthers?
Sanchez? Oh, no.
The Carolina Panthers traded Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
Does he see ghosts like Sam Darnold?
I don't know.
Maybe Jake Garcia should be in that new. You remember that horror movie with the kid that said, "I see dead people." Jake Garcia, The Sixth Sense. That's it. Well, it should be The Seventh Sense, starring Jake Garcia. I see ghosts. Come on, dude. It's just he did good running it in. He might have screwed up that play if he had to.
He won the game. He won the game.
I know.
He won the game.
I mean, if you're Virginia right now, you're going, boy, we are bad. We gave away a game to Jake Garcia. Oh my God, that was. I mean, listen, I'm glad UM won. I'm glad that you took the 3 points, because if you took our advice in our ALennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment, we told you to take Virginia plus the 3, so you would have won there. So I'm glad that UM won, and if you bet on Virginia, you also won. So that's a good thing there, man. But wow, this is one of those games that there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, there is. Sure, there is.
Yeah,
sure
what?
There's plenty of. Damn, Miami needs work. But again,
but
Miami
it's the same stuff we've been talking about for weeks. Thank you for coming.
It is. And look, it's still the story. So you can only talk about what is given to you and what was given to us to see today. Okay, Andy's on his game. 1. 2,
Leon Fresco is on his game.
Congrats to the U, best team in Virginia.
They beat Vatek, they beat Virginia, and now they are the best team in Virginia. How about that?
Listen.
How about that, Sean Stanley? We can claim to be the best team in Virginia. Yeah, bitch. We own Virginia. Virginia's not for lovers. Virginia's for the Canes. I like that, Leon. Thank you for the love on the super chat, by the way. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So I want to talk about the defense, because it was crazy how, again,
they did play well.
It was give and take, if you ask me.
There is actually something to talk about, you bastard.
Listen.
Crap, he actually came up with something. The defense did play well. By the way, the secondary actually has played better the last couple of weeks. They're not good or anything, okay? Don't get me wrong, but they're making more plays now than they were in the first.
How about I want to talk about the play that I thought was a touchdown for Virginia, and apparently, I guess the guy stepped out. when it was, again, I think a 3rd and 14. And it's rearing its ugly head again. The reason I say this every week is because it hasn't been fixed. Miami is great on 1st and 2nd down. How many times are we going to see the opposition convert on a 3rd and obvious? It happened again today, 3rd and 14. Don't get mad at Steele. Don't get mad at the defense that was called. Cam Kitchen was in prime position. He was where he was supposed to be because that's what the defense called for, to make a tackle. Ball carrier made a play. One of the surest tacklers on the team missed his tackle, okay? What does he do? 2 plays later, saves a touchdown. Way to bounce back, right? And then later on in the game, he saved another touchdown with a batted pass. So way to bounce back from him and have that next play mentality. Leonard Taylor is a beast, okay? Breaking news. This shouldn't be breaking news. Leonard Taylor is a beast. That defensive line continues to apply pressure, and it seemed to me that the game plan by Steele was, all right, we're going to give you this, but we're going to take away this. Virginia did not have big pass plays in the air until the second half. And there were maybe 3 in total, maybe 4. Definitely you can count them on one hand. I know they didn't happen at all in the first half, happened in the second half. So the defense was content with taking away the big play and letting, what's his name, Armstrong, Armstead, no arm, left arm, whatever, have what he had on the ground. Okay, at the half, Virginia had 70 yards rushing, and he had 46 of them. So Steele said, I'll give you this, but I'm taking this. And look, I'm happy. It ended up with a win.
Yep. Ken Helm says that was the ugliest win that a team desperately needed.
Yep.
Amen to that, Ken. You are 1,000% right, my brother, on that one. And, no turnovers, and the defense stood up at the goal line every time. However, we do need a massive infusion of talent. Yes, there's no doubt. And Ken, you are right. The play of the game was Cam Kitchens knocking the ball away in OT. That was a hell of a play because that was actually a good throw, and the receiver had it in his hands. It was executed perfectly by them.
Oh, you're talking about Stevenson or Cam Kitchens when he batted the ball away? Because Stevenson was the one in the end zone.
Well, actually, I'll go with Stevenson then. Because that was a
touchdown.
I'll go with Stevenson. You're right. But the other one was also big too.
It was a great play.
You're right. Also, both of them were big. Both of them were big. But that play was made.
No, it was huge.
It was in his hands.
Yes, he wrestled
and
it away.
He knocked it out. That was so big, dude.
Big time.
That was a awesome play by the defensive back. I'll say that. Like I said, the secondary has actually made more plays in the last couple of weeks than they did the first, what are we, 8 games in? The first 5 games, they were horrible. But if you watch them the last 3 games, they've made more plays than they did in the first 5. The D-line, it's gotten better and better, and it's pretty damn good right now. Overall, the D-line's doing a good job. Taylor had, you mentioned it. He had a monster game today. So those are some of the positives I want to say. Yeah, I got to give the defense some love. They won this game today, basically, because the offense was, pathetic.
Leonard Taylor, 6 tackles total, 3 of them solo. But of those 6 tackles, 4 of them were for losses, and he was credited with a sack and a half. Going back to your point of how the secondary has been looking better, but to me, and this is, take it for what you want, Canes fans, okay, because this is not as black and white as it may seem, but when James Williams went out, that secondary looked good. So you can take that as James Williams is a liability, or Miami has depth and they pick up right where they leave off, because Tay Williams was a highly ranked player coming out of high school at the safety position, highly regarded. Oregon wanted him when Mario was there. The Gators thought they were his, broke their hearts, and then obviously Miami ends up with him. But they were playing well with James Williams in the game. Wonder what his injury is. I think it was like a shoulder. It looked like he went down with a shoulder, upper extremity for sure. But that was something that I was keeping an eye on, how the secondary looked when he went out, and they did not miss a beat.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, man. Overall, listen, we look at this game, bottom line, when we talk, drop the national championship stuff, winning the ACC. I'm not worried about that right now. Right now, it's try to get a winning record and get in a bowl game. Any bowl game. It doesn't matter. The Poulon Weed Eater bowl game, the Blue Bonnet World. I don't care what it is. Do the Furniture.com bowl game. I don't care what bowl game you get into. Get your 7 wins and get into a sorry bowl game right now. At this point. You cannot have a losing season. You've got to find a way to win some games. Next week is actually the turning point that you can make your season a little better by beating FSU. But if you lose to FSU, which is probably what you're supposed to do, because right now FSU is probably the better team, you're supposed to win the next games that come after that to kind of finish everything off. But, it's just one of those of trying to finish a lot stronger than you started right now. And that's what I think. If you're a coaching staff, you're trying to show improvement throughout the year. Although I got to tell you something, Mike, it's going to be hard with a bad quarterback in place.
Oh, 100%.
That's where, let's hope Van Dyke can make it back for the FSU game.
Yeah, that's going to be huge, because there was a play in which he acted his way out of his heart. Brashard Smith, I thought he caught a pass that, if he was a shortstop, it would have been perfect. He, the
trapped it.
Hopper or whatever, he trapped it. But he got up like if he caught the ball, and I'm thinking, oh, nice catch. The release points with Jake being whatever he is, 6'2", 6'3", that's the difference between him and Van Dyke. Because if the release point was a little bit taller, Van Dyke is 6'4", 6'5", you get the drive. I think that was a third down. It was an incomplete pass sometime in the second half. So, there's a difference. You can see it out there. Jake is a little bit more mobile than TVD, and TVD is not a statue back there. He can move his legs, but he's not a guy that you draw up plays for.
He's not an athlete.
He's not 100. Well, he did play basketball in high school. He's
not an athlete.
But
he can move around a little bit, but he's not an athlete.
I think Miami's chances dwindle significantly if Jake starts. If there's no semblance of a running game. Today there's a little bit more of that. Shout out to Henry Parrish, man. That kid runs so hard.
I love him.
So he went over 100 today. This is the first time I'm looking at the box score. 4.7 a pop. The long of 18. 24 carries. Now
they don't run him enough, dude. That's been my thing. I would play a guy that plays that hard every single time. I don't get what goes on with him at times. It's one of those that's kind of baffling to me, to be quite honest.
And look, he proved it today. Again, 4.7 a pop on 24 carries, goes over 100 yards for, I think, the third time this year. And that's what Miami's going to need next year. And I'll tell you what, for everybody that was upset at points in the game, why is he running the ball? Especially before the first overtime, when it was still the fourth quarter in regulation, everybody's thinking, what are you going to draw up, Mario? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? The running game was rolling at that point. The running game was what got Miami in that position to score in the first place. So I'm not mad that he decided to realize we need a win here. Forget going for it and let me put my kicker in a better position to score. And they found something in the run game with Khalil Brantley going in motion and running behind him, because that's how they got down the field. Go replay it. It'll be on YouTube probably right now. They found something that they like, and notice who was in motion. It was the better of the tight ends, the better of the blocking tight ends between Mallory, Brantley, and actually Mammarelli is probably the better run blocker. But in any sense, either way you look at it, they found success in the running game with that motion behind the tight end, and they ran behind it. They rode it, and they rode it to a victory.
I'm with you. A couple of questions here. First of all, he says Garcia needs more practice. RQ, I don't think practice is his issue, because he doesn't see the field well. He doesn't read the coverages well. He throws to spots where you're like wondering what he's watching. I'm not sure that Jake Garcia is nearly as good as some people made him out to be quite honest. So moving around is not going to help. Practice is not going to help. I would question his accuracy, and his decision-making is some of the worst I've ever seen at that quarterback spot. So I'm not sure with that one. That one I would I would disagree with you on that one. What else did I see here? Oh, yes, Black Spliff 305. Keep Rooster on the bench. Best move possible. You know, it gets to a point where you got to stick to the people that are productive. Mm-hmm. And Henry Parrish has done nothing at all to take away any carries from him. All he's done is proven to you that he plays hard, he's productive. And so why would you give somebody else a chance that isn't productive on a consistent basis and is a risk for turning over the football? So I'm with you. You got to keep the Rooster on the bench.
I see why you say that for obvious reasons. The 3 fumbles in, 3 weeks in a row, it seemed like.
You can't have that, bro.
In a row, you can't have it.
They're not a good team.
They were game-changing turnovers. 100%. I'm not taking that back. But he's a weapon, and the offense is different when his speed is in the game. It's the defense coaches it different. The players react different.
But you got to be effective in order for it to.
I get it.
He has not been effective.
100%. But you can't shelve him completely.
For now, you can. You got to win games, dog. You got to try to get in a bowl game.
But he's also,
I mean, today, look. Let me pull it up for you, right here. You ended up winning the game, and you had Parrish with 24 carries, 113 yards. Brown had 5. Stanley had 3. Brinson 1. Garcia 5.
There's more ways to use Rooster without using Rooster and having him fumble. Have his speed out there as a decoy. You can't.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine. If you don't want to put the ball in his hands, fine. But you got to have him
at
on
the moment. You
can't
afford it. You can't afford it.
No, I agree. I am not fighting that. But his speed, you can't coach speed. You can't coach speed. You can't defend speed. Speed is is the ultimate weapon in the game of football.
Yeah, and but penalties, mistakes, and turnovers are things that if your players are doing that on a consistent basis, they nullify anything and anything that they're doing, anything and everything that they're doing on offense if they're committing penalties and turning over the ball. So it doesn't matter if you possess speed if you're turning over the ball. Doesn't matter if you can throw it 100 yards downfield if you're turning over the ball. So to me, that's the problem. It doesn't matter what talent you possess. You are setting your team back with the mistakes you make. And that's why shelving him is the right thing. And Henry Parrish, brother, what's he done this year to bench him?
No,
to not give him time?
I am not fighting with that.
24 carries. Keep doing it.
Too.
I love it.
See it too. Shout out to Inez Cooper. I believe it's his first career start at right guard. Remember, that's a guy that anytime the media asks Mario Cristobal about him, sorry, I'm excited, he beams. He beams about Inez Cooper. He loves him. So I think he can play both spots. He's been playing, obviously, guard because that's where Miami's lacking right now. But I believe he was brought in as a tackle, true freshman from Alabama, big kid. Mario loves him. Every time Mario talks about him, he says it's going to be a great one. And I'm sorry, but if Mario Cristobal, he's seen great ones, okay? So if he's saying that about a true freshman, keep your eye on him. So shout out to Inez Cooper, playing the entire game at right guard. To the running game, let's go over to the team stats really quick because you brought up penalties. Penalties today from Miami, 5 penalties, 22 yards.
You gave yourself a chance. That's why you stay in the game. If you commit a whole bunch of penalties and turn over the ball, then you're going to give Virginia points, and then you would have lost this game.
Time of possession, 32 and 42 seconds versus Virginia's 27-18. That was key. Miami runs for a total of 147 on the ground to Virginia's 119. Very, very, I don't even want to use mediocre. O could use the adjective here. 125 passing yards versus Virginia's 208 passing yards. Wow. Total of 2. Miami won the game with 272 total yards,
Yeah, defense, bro.
And
defense
no penalties.
Won this game. Defense won this game. They scored more points in overtime than they did during the regular game.
And they did a terrible job getting off the field on third down.
They scored 6 points in the regular game and they scored 8 points in the overtime. Thank you for coming.
5 of 17 on third down conversions from Miami. Virginia was not much better, 5 of 16. And Miami didn't convert on a fourth down, 0 for 0, and Virginia was 0 for 1. Ugly game all around. But again, look, you need games like this. You need games like this when you're at a point like this in a program. You got to learn how to win. You got to dig. Mario believed in his running game. He stuck to his guns, sticking with Parrish late in the fourth quarter, setting up Andy. And shouts out to Andy. He was not going to let it happen 2 years in a row. Remember last year, Coach Manny Diaz hung him out to dry at home against Virginia on a Thursday night, putting Andy in a position where he shouldn't have been in. Many people felt that he definitely should have went for that fourth down, and he didn't. All the momentum, and we all know how that ended. So shout out to Andy, man. Definitely a player of the game in my book.
By the way, let me go around college football. Right now, Georgia's leading Florida 14-0. 13 minutes left in the second quarter. It is Oregon leading California 7-3, the number 8 team in the country, Oregon. They are 6-1, by the way. Kansas State, number 22 in the country. They are leading number 9, Oklahoma State, 14-0. Louisville leading number 10, Wake Forest, 13-7, 11 minutes left in the second quarter. Nebraska is trailing number 17, Illinois, 6-3, and that is 10 minutes left in the second. And UCF is blanking Cincinnati right now, the number 20 team in the country, 10-0 with 11 minutes left in the second quarter. Mizzou leading South Carolina, 3:50 left in the first quarter. It is 7-0, leading the number 25 team in the country. Finals, number 2 Ohio State beats Penn State, number 13, 44-31. Number 7 TCU over West Virginia, 41-31. And Notre Dame beat number 16 Syracuse, 41-24 in that game. Oronde Gadsden II, 4 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. And they still lost. So there you go. We're also watching, since we're out here walk-ons, they've got the Panthers on, taking on Ottawa. Panthers have 12 shots and 2 goals. And the Ottawa Senators only have 3 shots on goal. Have you noticed that Bob doesn't take on a lot of shots? Now, there's still some nights where he's not taking on a lot of shots, but he allowed a couple too many goals there, by the way. But anyway, Alexander Barkov picked up the goal in the 12th minute, and Carter Verhaeghe in the 8th minute also got a goal for the Panthers. So that's why they are leading 2-0 right now, the Cats.
The game is in Sunrise, by the way.
Yes, it is. 4-3-1 for the Cats, so they're looking for their 5th win of the year. We'll see if they can do that. All right, let's do this. Give us 2 minutes. We'll be right back. We're coming to you live from Walk-Ons in Kendall. If you got any questions, any comments, send them in on the chat board. You can also send in your donations through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And don't forget, tomorrow we'll be back at 11 a.m. to get you ready for Dolphins. Yes, sir. Let's see if the Dolphins can get it done. They're taking on, what is it, the Minnesota Vikings or something like that? Or the Detroit Lions or something like that? Oh, the Lions. Okay, yes.
Where?
Oh, man, Campbell, yes.
Where's the game?
I'm having fun with it. Huh?
Where's the game?
It's in Detroit.
Okay.
It's an 8 Mile. So there you go. So we'll see if Eminem is there. All of that good stuff. All right, give us 2 minutes. Back with more right here on the MyEdgeDrink.com Miami Hurricanes postgame show, live from Walk-Ons in Kendall on the Sports Talk 305 Network.
You're listening to the home for hardcore Miami Hurricanes coverage. This is the Edge Energy Drink Miami Hurricanes postgame show, live from Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall with Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy on the Sports Talk 305 Network. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs.
You can rely on essential moving experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
You're locked into the only platform truly dedicated to South Florida sports. This is the MyEdgeDrink.com Miami Hurricanes Postgame Show, live from Walk On Sports Bistro in Kendall on the SportsTalk305 Network. Here's your hosts, Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy.
All right. I laugh because I'm looking at some guy there. Let me see, where is it? He says, suddenly Garcia is trash. I don't know who was talking him up, sir. I'm sorry. I must have missed it. Why would anybody talk up somebody that's never played?
Well, it's just to your point where you were talking about in the pregame and towards the end of last game. You don't like recruiting for this reason, but he was highly sought after.
I don't believe in stars and all that crap in recruiting on average.
I get it. A lot of people don't, and I get that. I'm one of the guys that I want to see it too, but unfortunately, there is ranking system out there, as flawed as it can be. I happen to think that Jake is not a bad quarterback. All right. I think he needs more reps. I don't think he's I think he needs more reps. Always looking at me crazy.
Because he's played terrible.
Show. And I get it. I get why you said that. Doesn't mean he's a terrible quarterback.
Oh, he is a terrible quarterback. Right now, he's a terrible quarterback.
Right now, he's playing terrible football. I agree with that.
Okay.
He's throwing to places that it's like, guy, and he knows it too. I don't know what's going through his head.
Are you sure about that?
He better, because then he doesn't belong. He doesn't belong, in a D1, playing D1 football or FBS football, whatever they call it now. But he won the game.
Steven Gonzalez says, I can't believe Mike is wetting his pants over a crappy win. Oh, well.
I'm sorry. I'm glad that we won, and I'm glad that we're not – stop lighting fires. Stop lighting fires. I'm not into going into homecoming with a loss. Sorry.
Stir it up, baby.
Sorry. That just doesn't make any sense. I'm happy that we won. I'm not forgiving for that. The defense played well. The offense found a way to win. Come at me. I'm here all day.
Where's the pom-poms?
I got time.
Where's your pom-poms? Where are those orange and green pom-poms? Give me a dude. C-A-N-E-S.
Jesus. Are you happy that they – what do you want, dude? You wanted them to lose, or you one of these guys?
No. I think that nobody wants them to lose. I don't think that they want them to lose. I just think
there's steps to this. There's levels to this.
Remember we talked about this level 1. Remember we talked about this last week? They don't want to hear about that anymore. They don't want patience.
Hey, man. Hey, look.
Level 1, they're like, dude, we've been at level 1 for like 20 years.
Fan. Lincoln Riley figured it out quickly. Go be a USC fan. Get out of here with that.
Well, I think he might have inherited better players, too, over there at USC. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. But, yeah. And we talked about that, too. It's that's the thing. There are other coaches in their first year having a little more success than what they're having here in Miami. I understand the listener. It's hard to get excited about a game like this. It dragged on. There was no offense. And in college football, my God, offense, brother.
Yeah, it's
yeah. They score a lot of points in college football. They score a lot of points in the NFL. So ugly. When you're not scoring,
ugly, boring. Oh my God, nobody. You want to know what? I will wonder, who was it that said that? It was Steven Gonzalez?
Yes.
How did you feel about the Super Bowl when the Patriots beat the Rams? They called it the Super Boring.
Yeah, I know, but
I loved it.
Yeah, but it's the Super Bowl.
I get it, but I'm just wondering how many people didn't like to see it, and I'm just like, look, you know what you were getting coming into this game. It was going to be an ugly win, this, that, whatever. This is where you as a football fan have to find, okay, what we suck on offense. What are we doing good at? I was excited to see Cam Kitchens make up for his error for a missed tackle, in which ended up not being a touchdown. I guess the guy stepped out or whatever, but he came back, made key plays. Tyreek Stevenson, Leonard Taylor. It's not just, look, there's two sides of the football in football, and the defense did its job. And as bad as Jake looked, he won the game.
Yeah, he did. At the end, no, you don't want to give Jake the win.
He had the game-winning score.
Oh, he didn't lose the game.
He didn't lose the game.
I like that.
That's fine.
I'll
take that.
Okay.
I'll take
Jake
that.
Garcia didn't win the game, but he didn't lose the game. I like that.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I'm good with that, Sean. That's a good one.
That's very fair.
That is very good. USC got a hell of a wide receiver in Addison. Yeah. And Miami got a hell of a defensive line in Mesidor.
Yeah.
And a hell of a receiver in Corey, which they didn't use him today. Poor kid. He was lonely today. He was lonely like the Maytag man. The Canes will now face their fate and get smashed by Florida State next week.
Let's talk about that because I feel like most of the people in here should have seen enough FSU Miami football to know that it doesn't matter if both teams are 10-0 or 0-10. Because do you remember what happened in 2018? Let me refresh your memory. You ready? Just beat them for the first time in 7 tries in 2017 at Doak. You come down. You're supposed to be a better team. That's the season where you lose to LSU and Dallas. Both teams are looking shitty. All right, you go into the half down by 20 points and you win.
Yep.
It doesn't matter
it's a
how
crazy game.
good
You're
FSU looks right now, okay, and how bad Miami looks right now. I'll bet anyone. We're at Walk-Ons. Let's come watch the game together. I'll sit right next to you. I'll buy you a beer, all right, after. I bet you next week is a 1 point. I'm sorry,
you sure you want to do that, bro? If 100 people show up and you got to buy a beer for 100 people?
It's a one-score game next week.
100 people coming tomorrow?
Game next week.
100 people coming next week?
Let's do it. There better be dollar beers. Let's do dollar beers. It's a one-score game next week. I'm calling it. And I don't do this, but it's a one-score game next week. FSU's not a great team. Miami's not a great team. You're playing for pride next week at home, homecoming, all right? Hopefully TVD's back. It's a night game. They're actually going to be up to play.
TVD's back. I'll give that
Oh, no,
I
yeah.
agree.
100%.
What I saw today.
Oh,
I
no.
get it.
No. With Jake Garcia, they're going to lose big. With Tyler, they have a shot. Yes. No. That is a very big move for next week. If Jake plays, they have no shot at winning that game. I will pick them to lose. But if Tyler plays, they got a shot.
I want people that are knee-jerking right now to not have short-term memory. Think about all the years that Miami was supposed to kick FSU. Last year, Miami was supposed to kick FSU's ass. Ended up losing 4th and 14. Sorry. All right. There was a bunch of years that Miami was supposed to lose big time to FSU, the Jimbo years, and Al Golden should have won twice. Guys, stop knee-jerking. Stop acting like you haven't seen this game 50 times. It's going to be it's going to be something like what we saw today. Hopefully some more touchdowns, but it's not going to be field goals only. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be it's going to be a close game.
Right, we're all like Bill Murray, right? And the hurricane season, it's really Groundhog Day every year. We just wake up and it's just another shitty cane season.
We'll see. No,
it's already another shitty cane season. That's guaranteed already. We're already dead set on it being a bad cane season because that's where we're at. They're 4-4 already at this point. We have 3 mics so you can connect, right?
Yeah, I know. I forgot the other one.
Okay.
So
right.
actually, I
just want to make sure you know that.
We only have 2 here right now, so my fault.
Yes. Way to engineer. All right, go ahead.
Hey. You know what? Show's over. No, isn't it sad how everybody in the Coastal, it really is a mirror of each other?
Yes.
Every team in Coastal is just like, every time, like when we talked to Jack A this morning.
Jack A. I was just about to say that in honor of the Jags, that's what that division should be called, the Jag division.
Oh, yes.
Because it's just a bunch of Jags that are in there. Okay. We'll get Manny Navarro going. Let's get ready for you can find it at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, Brett, Jeff, all the great people out there, man. You want anything and everything with the Canes logo on it? You go to Caneswear. They've also got Dolphins, Marlins, Panthers, Heat, Inter Miami gear. But again, Caneswear, and it's actually moving over to a bigger location now. Okay? I mean, it's just one bigger location after another bigger location after another bigger location. Why? Because it is heaven. And if you're a Canes fan, it is one of the best stores on the planet for a Canes fan because you've never seen so many things with the UM logo on it. You will love it. Get on down there. 2511 South University Drive in Davie. It is time now for our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
We back, and we are ready to talk about thrills, excitement, energy, explosiveness.
Field goal fest. That's what we're going to talk about.
No, I thought we were going to talk about Debbie Does Dallas. I watched it again last night for the 40th time. No, seriously. Wow. That was, if you wanted to do something to cure insomnia, that might just be what you want to do is right there. Oh, you can't sleep? Well, let's put on this football game for you. Canes, Virginia, 2022. Wow. That was a rough watch. But how about this? This was the best part of the ending of that game. I don't trust Jake Garcia. The coaching staff doesn't trust Jake Garcia. And even Jake Garcia at the end of the game didn't trust himself either. That's why he ran it in.
Oh, a lot of great comedy there on your part. All things that I was thinking as well down the stretch of that game. Look, some coaches, their game plan going in, right, in the NFL is just get me to the fourth quarter, win on a field goal, win with defense. I think Mario basically feels that way about this team. He said it before this week even started, right? He said it on Monday when they were just really beginning to prepare for Virginia. You think, oh, Virginia, they're a bad team. They're 3-4. You could smoke these guys. I think Mario coaches like a guy who is scared of what he's got. Doesn't trust the players he has. Doesn't trust the quarterback he has. And so that's the kind of game plan that you got today. Henry Parrish was huge for Miami. Here's a kid that you think where would this offense be without him, right? I mean, with all the other running backs who went down, and look, in the end, they got the win. It wasn't pretty. It's not what Miami fans want. This isn't the vision long term, but I think one thing Miami fans have to get accustomed to, one way or the other, is that this is the way Mario wants to play. He wants to play with his team having a shot to win in the fourth quarter, and not the turnover fest that they had a week ago where they trusted Jake Garcia and he let him down.
Manny, isn't that the better alternative? Giving yourself a shot to win at the end? Texas A&M on the road, Kyle Field, today and not so much in between. But listen, I'm smiling because it was ugly, yes. But Miami, I think, got better today, all right, by going through this. Experience makes you better because you went through it. You know how to react next time. They found a way to win rather than found a way to lose. Sean famously says Jake Garcia didn't lose the game and he didn't win the game either. All right. My thing is you wanted to go into FSU with winning. They won today. They won big. So they're feeling good. Miami won on the road. Now they go home, homecoming. And that was the biggest take for me. And then also how the bounce back mentality from the secondary. First of all, you lose James Williams. They seem to not miss a beat when he goes down. Cam Kitchens bouncing back from what looked to be a touchdown, and then he bats the ball away on the next play. And then in overtime, he did it again. I mean, they showed resiliency, man. They showed resiliency. Andy was not going to let it happen 2 years in a row. He comes through each time. And so you build on things like that. Clearly, the defense is ahead of the offense right now. Inez Cooper made his first start. Am I picking at straws here in terms of things that Miami got better at?
No, they got better in a lot of places. And look, Virginia helped, certainly. I mean, that's got to be one of the worst offenses that I've ever seen. And, for all the criticism Josh Gaddis gets, I think Cavaliers fans, the future that they've got there with that coaching staff, it's kind of scary because Brendan Armstrong has some really good receivers. Certainly, you had the drop touchdown by Mish in the end zone, the tight end for Virginia, and then the very first play of the game from scrimmage, Armstrong overthrows Dontavian Wicks. It should have been a touchdown. I mean, there was nobody back there. So, yes, look, Miami made some good defensive plays. Tyreek Stevenson with the pass breakup. You mentioned Cam Kitchens. Leonard Taylor was huge at the line of scrimmage. But I'm going to put a little asterisk next to all of this and say they got a lot of help from Virginia to win this game. And say in the end, they gave up a lot of big plays. I mean, the secondary continues to look really crappy at times in coverage, like they're completely lost. And that's where you missed a James Williams today, where he's not as bad as his backups are. Okay, I'm not saying he doesn't give up big plays, but at least he's a little bit more dependable.
Dude, but that sorry-ass secondary is making more plays in the last 3 weeks than it did the first 5 weeks.
Oh, no, they're getting better at it. But I'm just saying, based on the big plays that Virginia was able to get, where you're just like guys running into each other, guys running wide open, you're dropping 7 in coverage and you're still getting hit for a 30-yard pass play down the field. Those kind of things would kind of make you just shake your head and say, yeah, this is why they still need guys like Cormani McClain to come in here and help the program. Why they still need elite recruits to come in here to help change things.
Are you sure Cormani is not going to be Jake Garcia or Tate or what's it, Tate Martell or whatever?
Listen.
I don't want another shell game with the 4 and 5 stars. Like, hey,
I think
up. Oh no, you get a 1 star. Oh.
I think the whole secret to all of this, is for those teams that actually win and go places, it's that they've got so many lottery tickets, they've got so many 4 and 5 stars that you can afford having a few busts. Right. At Miami, there's not enough of that. And so you have 1 or 2 guys bust, one or two guys get hurt, and there's just no depth to survive any of that.
I wanted to ask you about the running game and what Mario leaned on. How did you feel about, because remember, early in the season, people were mad. Why aren't you aggressive on the road? Texas A&M, Mario plays, stand the game. And then today, he leaned on his running game late in the fourth quarter to get Andy in a better position rather than people say, because I'm thinking, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but in my head, I'm like, spread them out, put your Curry in there. Try to win the game now. And he found something with Khalil Brantley going in motion. Whatever it was that they liked, they kept going to that. Running behind Khalil Brantley's block when he was in motion, and they stuck to it. Shout out to Henry Parrish running hard. But how do you feel about that and him sticking to the running game and just, gutting it out?
Again, this all speaks to how much he probably doesn't trust Jake Garcia to make the throws. I mean, if you look at it, Jake took a handful of shots down the field, maybe 3 or 4 the whole game, and really, I mean, he's a gunslinger. And I think what happened was he lost the coaching staff's trust with that terrible performance against Duke in the second half. I think in the end, the entire game plan was to feature Parrish. What bothered me was, there were a couple drives where Parrish started to get going. You had 18-yard run, 5-yard run, 4-yard run, 8-yard run, and then all of a sudden you go away from him and you stop running the football.
Right.
It's incredible, but it almost feels like they don't trust anybody on this team. Like Jalen Knighton didn't even sniff the field. Thad Franklin wasn't on there. It was Lucius Stanley, the walk-on, who was getting the – and so it was almost like, okay, look, we've got this limited group that we trust, and we're just going to try to win with what we've got. And, to me, it's not going to be good enough to beat Florida. This is not going to be good enough to beat Florida State. Florida State's going to run the ball all over them. It's going to be a bad game for Miami unless some of these guys elevate their level of play. And there's so many guys banged up right now. I don't know what they're going to have.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, Miami's fans are going to have to get – look, Rooster didn't play for a reason. Thad didn't play for a reason. If you're going to play with 2 running backs, okay, we saw some X, that's great. But with all the talent, right, that Miami has, because they're not void of talent, with all this talent, it's like cut in half or less than that. They're not playing because they're hurt or they're in a doghouse or whatever the reason is. So, listen, you can't expect fireworks with firecrackers.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, these are the cheap firecrackers, the ones you pick up at Publix or Walmart.
Yeah, I was saying those little Havana, those broke ass people in Little Havana, we did all right with firecrackers, bro.
Yeah.
Now sprinklers, now that's some weak ass stuff. Okay? Guy waving a sprinkler, no, that's not fireworks. Hell, you know what we used to do back in the day? I don't know. You definitely did not do this, but this is old school. Maybe you did it. I'm not exactly sure. SOS Brillo pads. You guys, I threw all of you off, huh? You guys want homeschool fireworks?
Go ahead.
Here's what you do. You got to get a wire-like rope, okay? Because you're gonna light, crap on fire. So it can't be a rope because. Right. No. Well, this is good because Jason Pierre-Paul can actually do this and not lose fingers.
God.
What? That's the truth. So anyway, what you do is you get like 3 Brillo pads. SOS. It has to be SOS.
Okay.
The other ones are not flammable. SOS are flammable. Okay. So you grab the SOS flammable ones. You put up because they have like these soap stuff in it and everything. So you put all 3 of them and you wrap the wire around it. You put it on the floor, Jason Pierre-Paul. Then you grab your lighter, you just light it, and it's gonna like have little lights. It's gonna start flickering a little bit.
Yeah.
You start swinging that thing around, and it's like all kinds of like a sparkler that's going round and round and a big ass circle. As long as you make the rope, if it's 10, 20 feet, it's a round circle of just sparks. It's actually really cool. Oh, by the way, Jason Pierre-Paul, do not do it anywhere where it's flammable also.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, don't do it inside your house or anything like that. Like, do it out in the street, away from cars, things like that. So you got to also have some space because the sparks are going to be flying all over. You guys never did the SOS Brillo pads.
Never did.
Never heard of it.
See, bro, when you ain't got money, you got to be crafty.
You got to be creative, man.
You got to be crafty. Yes, definitely.
Or better in the transfer portal, right?
Or better in the transfer portal. Definitely. By the way, that was a hell of a play in the end zone to knock down that pass. To me, that was the play of the game because that was a perfect pass. The receiver had the ball, and if the DB doesn't make that play, dude, it is
Tyreek Stevenson.
Yep, it was over. That was a hell of a play, dude.
And then he also had the chase down. When they had the big play, the 67-yard play where he was able to hustle and push the kid out of bounds before he got it in the end zone at the 3-yard line. Alonzo Highsmith was screaming and out of happiness in the locker room post game, from what I heard, and actually said, he saved the game twice for us, talking about Tyreek. So,
wow.
Again, Trent. Yeah, so twice he did that. Look, 4-4, they got a chance at a bowl game. Had they lost today, I would have told you no way. They got a chance now.
Right. Let me ask you about next week because, listen, I remember 2018, Miami coming off of a big 2017. You start at Dallas, you lose LSU. FSU comes into town. Quarterback switching up and down that year between Kosi and Jaron Williams. Miami's bad. FSU's bad. Miami was expected to win. They're down big at the half. They end up winning. Kosi to Brevin Jordan. I've seen bad Miami teams stick around with good FSU teams, vice versa. It's a rivalry game. I don't want to hear Miami's getting their ass. Yes, Miami will get their ass kicked if ABC doesn't happen. That's every game. But This game, FSU's not impressive. That 4-game win streak they had in the beginning of the season, look at it now. They won today, 5-3. You have two mediocre at best teams in an in-state rivalry.
By the way, if FSU is not impressive, what is Miami? I'm just wondering. I just wanted. I'm dying to hear the adjective you're about to use. Please.
A notch below. I don't know. So my thing, Manny, is look. I get Miami is not looking as good with air quotes that FSU is right now, but you can't go by that. Because it's a rivalry game in which two teams, they know each other from playing together in high school, the players on the field. Everything goes out the window. And I know that people say that, but it's literally the case in a game like this.
You're right. I mean, look, in a rivalry game, you can always have a team sort of jump up and pull the upset. I mean, it happened last year. Miami was supposedly the better team over the second half of the season, and they went into Tallahassee and lost that game, even though they should have won it. So, yes, I think, look, I'm not saying this is a great Florida State team by any means, but you ask me, put them on a neutral field, I'd pick Florida State to win probably 8 out of 10 times.
Okay. Right now, yes. Yeah.
Right now I would. I mean, especially with no Tyler Van Dyke. And I don't think Tyler's going to end up coming back this week either. I don't think he'll be around. So, again, I don't think he's rushing back. This is the kind of injury.
They have no shot without Tyler, right?
Right, I agree with that.
I know the game is wacky, and I know that game is hard to predict even when they're bad, but I cannot see Jake Garcia winning that game.
Okay? I saw the worst quarterback in Miami history.
Well, you might be watching him right now.
Win out of his ass at Doak Campbell Stadium when Kyle Wright went down and Kirby Freeman came in and threw a winning touchdown to Dedrick Epps. They scored over 40 points in that game when they should have scored less than 10. Don't tell me who
led the offense for the 40 points.
I have no idea. It was, like I said, Kyle Wright started the game.
Colin McCarthy, I think, won that game by scooping up a fumble. And I remember being on the sideline for that game and thinking to myself, man, these are two really bad teams. Look, it could happen. I'm not saying Miami can't beat Florida State with Jake Garcia. I'm just saying you'd feel a lot better if Tyler Van Dyke was the quarterback.
Yes.
That's it.
I no pushback. No pushback. It's just that people are out here saying they're losing a game already.
Right.
Is this your first rodeo on this thing? Come on.
No, not in the least. But look, they've got to get better on the passing side of it. There really was no separation today by any of the receivers, by the way. Colby Young.
Sean, I think he went out of the game. He didn't look so good there.
Yeah, I mean, there were guys that obviously, look, and Restrepo had a play limit. I knew that coming in. I tweeted that out before the game. He was going to be limited in his return here this week. So, I think the hope is that you can cut him loose next week. If Xavier Restrepo can be Xavier Restrepo next week, then that helps the offense. But you got to really
you're going to cut Jake Garcia loose.
Well, I'm saying even those little slant patterns. Let Xavier Restrepo make little short passes like they were running today, which is what they did. I mean, again, they didn't take many shots down the field. They threw one to Restrepo that I remember. Colby Young caught one of 3 that they threw his way. I don't remember many other deep shots. Do you?
He overthrew Keyshawn in the first quarter.
And Keyshawn, right. I forgot about that on the post pattern. So 5, I think he ended up taking 5 shots down the field in this game, the whole game. The rest of it was sort of 10 yards and in or quick little, throws out to the side.
I just think it's kind of dangerous to let a guy like Jake Garcia loose. That's like allowing OJ loose in Brentwood. I
meant is Xavier Restrepo loose. Let Xavier catch a lot of those underneath routes and make some plays.
But who can get it to Restrepo?
Well, I think you could see more of that. He did it today for a first down. He caught the ball at about, it was like an 8-yard route. He caught it, made a little move, and picked up a first down.
I trust him. I don't trust the guy throwing him.
If you can get that 10 times next week, 10 catches, Xavier Restrepo for 110 yards and a touchdown, then you got a chance to win next week.
If you got Tyler Van Dyke, I believe that. This guy, I don't believe that you're going to get the ball to him 10 times. I really, man, I am so down on Jake Garcia. To me, he's up to Frank Costa and, what's that other kid that
Kirby Freeman?
Scott Covington.
Scott Covington.
Man.
What the guy that played baseball?
Kenny Kelly.
Kenny Kelly. Holy crap! Yes.
Well, Kenny Kelly could run.
Right, he could run, but he couldn't throw.
Scott Covington gets a bad rap. He wasn't a terrible quarterback. Frank Costa, sure, I co-sign that. Scott Covington threw for, I think, over 300 yards in a Gator Bowl when Georgia Tech had the number 1 offense in '98. And remember, he was the quarterback in the famous Edger and James game. And guess what? He threw 300 yards in that game, or 2-something. He didn't have that wasn't all Edger and James. Scott Covington had a good game that game.
Hey, one bright spot I don't think we talked about enough. Jacoby George was pretty good on the punt returns.
Yes.
And I think you're going to need some of that next week, some special teams. Look, in the end, they made the 4 field goals. Headley pinned some guys. I think the only real mistake on special teams was the ball that trickled into the end zone that DJ Ivey couldn't get to on the punt. Other than that, they did their job. You're going to need some special teams plays next week to beat Florida State.
100%.
All right, one more thing I got to ask you. How are they keeping, which I think is so awesome, they've kept their class together while they are terrible. They're not impressive and these kids are so fair weathered, and all they're doing is Komani is the name of the kid again?
Komani McLean.
The McLean. They got diehard guy McLean
right
in yesterday, which was an amazing recruit, and so they keep adding to this class. That's that is the most impressive thing that Mario has done this year. Not his coaching, but keeping that recruiting class intact. How are they doing that?
I wish I had a couple $100,000 in front of me that I could just kind of drop boom right here for you, but I don't.
That's it. It's just money.
Well, no. Look, I think DeMarcus Van Dyke deserves credit for getting Cormani McLean. They have a very, very good relationship. DeMarcus was the cornerbacks coach last year. He's been on this staff. They kept him around for a reason, and they're going to need him to get the 24 kids locally here that they want to get. The J.J. Smiths and some of the other guys that are talented. But look, in today's college football world, all you can do is sell playing time. You can sell money. You can sell opportunity. That's basically it, and that's how they're doing it. And I think the other thing is Mario, he's very good with parents. We don't get to see that part of it. That's not flashed on the field on Saturdays. But I think in houses with recruits, When those parents come and visit campus, I think he knows how to sell a program, and they trust him. There's a lot of parents who just trust him.
I'm mad that you said that, because that is the key. Mario doesn't lie to these recruits. He doesn't. And again, I said it for anybody that was running the pregame. Jackson Carver, one of the 3 tight ends that are committed in the next class from Indiana right now, he said that we didn't come here because we expected to win a championship next year because Miami is undefeated now or going to be highly ranked when we get there. We're coming because the coaches are honest and the coaches have a resume behind them. It's proven success. And then when you see what these parents tweet out after these visits, it's confirmed. They trust the coaches. How many recruiters go into your living room and tell the truth?
Yeah, but remember, kids are so fair-weathered that it's you say they trust, but then you're looking at the results and they don't look good.
I get it.
So normally they would be dropping like flies.
Normally.
So I just wonder. It's what he says. It's the cash. Go ahead.
Well, I think this speaks more to what's important in today's society to these kids. I don't know that winning means nearly as much as it used to for people.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. By the way, were you amazed that UM was able to score more points in overtime than during the regular game?
Not at all, brother. I said 20-14 or 20-10 Virginia. That was my pick. So they didn't even hit the 30-point mark that I thought they would. So
I said 27 or 24 I had it at 10-point. I had a sniffing 30, I think, like 27 or 24. I don't know, but I had us winning by 10.
Miami might have to win with 18 or 17 points next week. That might have to be what it takes from now on.
Virginia +3, baby. That's all you needed today. Canes won, and then you won the cash.
That's right.
That's it. How good are those people? That's why they build those castles in Vegas.
That's incredible. It's incredible.
Right? It's like right there. They're right around the number, dude. They are beautiful the way they set that thing up. All right, what do you got going in the Athletic this week as we get ready for FSU week?
Well, listen, you'll have a story on this game at the very least. My editors want me to write why is it so hard to win at Miami. So I gotta work on that this coming week. I think we pretty much cover it every time we get on the show here, right? I think we kind of regurgitate the same conversation when it comes to why aren't they winning. But there'll be a story on that, and there'll be some more recruiting stuff. So busy week for me as always, but it's Florida State week, man. So it'll be, there'll be a little bit more attention being paid because it's Florida State week. And then, at this point, I think ESPN gave him, a 38% shot of getting to a bowl game heading into this game. I'd imagine it's right around 50 right now, right?
Yeah, pretty close.
4 games left.
I mean, 2-2. 2-2 gets you in, baby. You get to play in Boston on December 17th. Woohoo!
Right. But you know what? They need to go bowling. They have to get a bowl game.
They have to.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that would be disastrous to not win enough games to get a bowl game. That's hard to sell, dude. And I mean, seriously, everybody. It's like Oprah hands out bowl games. If you don't get a bowl game, it's like, yo, Oprah left your ass out. What's wrong with you? That kind of stuff. So yeah,
Georgia Tech and Pitt. Those are the 2 games you got to win.
Yeah.
And FSU. You got to win FSU.
That'd be nice. So you could just say you were 7-5. That'd be nice.
Pom-poms are out over here. All right, anyway, follow me on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And more importantly, please subscribe to The Athletic and support Manny. Great coverage. I mean, the man writes like 86 articles a day. So you got plenty of content, you know what I'm saying, for a couple dollars a month, which is a joke. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you immensely. We will see you on Tuesday for the State of Florida Gridiron Roundtable, baby.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you, sir. That is Manny Navarro. And don't forget, order from Caneswear at 2511 South University Drive in Davie. If you can't drive there, you can go to caneswear.com. And if you order over $99, you will get free shipping. Go to caneswear.com. It's going to freak you out. They got anything and everything with the Canes logo. And if you're looking for Dolphins gear, Panthers gear, Heat gear, Marlins gear, Inter Miami gear, clearance gear, they got all kinds of stuff, baby. Caneswear.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
I am amazed that throughout all this turmoil and mediocrity and 4-4, they have kept the recruiting intact, and they continue to improve it. And that's where, hopefully you can get excited that they have identified the right players. I don't care about their stars, but that they got players. And to me, what I like is that you're battling the top universities for these guys. So you're not battling, scrubby universities for these players. So it sets them up.
Mario goes big whale hunting, and he doesn't stop until they sign on. I don't think people understand. I mean, you hear it, oh, yeah, he's a good recruiter. No. This is Mario's life. This is probably Mario's favorite part about being a coach, building relationship with these players, with these parents, and he's good at it, okay? And guess what? His coaching staff is full of good recruiters as well, right? So he preaches recruiting 24/7. He texts these guys every day, okay? The class gets along. As you see, 3-4 when they got Cormani McClain. That's a joke, okay? Considering, damn, I wonder what we'd have done if they were 2-5, okay? Look, they're seeing the vision, all right? And that's what you want.
Exactly.
And you can compare this class coming into a shit show, right, to the guys that were recruited by Mario when Butch was here, who ultimately built the best team you've ever seen. I'm not saying that's what Mario's going to build, but he's going to have a damn good team. Miami's going to be in the playoffs, should be in the playoffs in 3 to 4 years with the type of talent that's coming in. And think about this, guys.
As long as they have the right quarterback, that'll be key in 3 to 4 years, because Van Dyke won't be here. So
he won't be here.
It all depends on who they recruit. But yeah, I think by year 4 you should be really, really special.
You're gonna be really, and think about this. This is something that not many people that me.
You better be special, by the way. For the money they're paying, you better be special by year 4.
Trevante Citizen was last year's surprise, right? Okay. Last year's surprise came out of nowhere. One of the top running backs in Louisiana. He's not playing this year. I know O was probably wondering why isn't he playing. Got hurt. Okay. He might come in late season, or he just may take a medical redshirt altogether. That was a surprise. Nobody thought Miami was in it for Cormani McClain. You see what happens. There's more surprises. There's more surprises because that's what Mario does. I don't know who they are, okay? I just know there are more surprises because that's how Mario works. And he's going toe-to-toe with the Bambas, the Ohio States, the Clemsons, and Mario's going to build that O-line first, okay? And then just watch it work after that. Watch it work after that.
By the way, Ottawa and Florida are now tied at 2. Do you know who scored for Ottawa in one of their goals there, Sean? Bradley Tkachuk.
Wow.
Matthew's brother.
Wow.
So there you go. Tkachuk, Matthew has not scored in this game. So far, it is Barkov and Verhaeghe, actually. So those are the guys that have scored. It's 2-2. They just took off a third goal that they had on the board there. So there you go. That's the score. Let me go around college football right now and give you a little bit of what's going on in college football. Let's start off with you Gator fans, as Georgia is routing the Gators right now 28-3. Oregon is ahead of California 21-10, and that's at halftime. Oklahoma State trailing Kansas State 35-0. Kansas State is number 22. Oklahoma State is number 9. They're going after you, bro. Are you a man? Are you still 40? Well, he's like 50 now. That was like 10 years ago, easily. Number 10, Wake Forest, barely leading Louisville 14-13 at halftime. Number 17, Illinois, leading Nebraska 20-9. Cincinnati, number 6 in the country, trailing UCF 10-6. And Mizzou is pounding number 25 South Carolina 17-0. Those are some of the scores around college football. Big O is frozen in time. I'm frozen in time. I don't know. But how come I'm just looks like
they hear you fine. You're just
but you're
frozen.
moving.
I'm moving, you're not.
That's weird.
Very weird.
But they must be hearing still, right? I mean,
no, they hear you. They hear you.
Yeah. Okay. All
This
right.
is radio.
I don't know.
Might as well blank mine out.
I don't know. I am frozen, but listen, actually being frozen is a good thing. Now if the good thing about this is I'm looking down, I'm not even looking at you. I'd be breaking your TVs and everything all over the place, scaring kids. So it's good that I look down. So it's always positive. William Quigley, yes, sir. We love it from CuttersEdgePro.com. He was out here with us watching the game. He's a big fan. He says, Big O, thank God for Walk-On's awesome mozzarella logs today at lunch. Unfortunately, the Canes have a long way to go. And William, thank you for coming out and hanging out with Al and myself and Sean and Mike and all the great people out here hanging out at Walk-Ons. Always appreciate it. And by the way, next week, we're here at 5:30, starting off.
Can't wait.
It's a 7:30 game. We'll be here at 5:30 to get the kickoff going. Obviously, we'll have the post-game show for you. We'll have giveaways again. Every quarter, we're giving away stuff. Okay? And yes, we'll have a post-game show. Should be going on around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And yeah, maybe we won't do the whole 2 hours, but or hour and a half or hour or whatever, but we'll have the post-game show for you and we'll get it going on and we'll give you all the coverage. So we will be here next Saturday night for UM and FSU. Looking forward to that one, man. Not going to be easy, Mike. Not going to be easy,
No,
my
it's
brother.
not. I'm not going to sit here and butter that up. But I don't think that they –
Yes, this is the place. Yes.
But I don't think it's going to be a game that's going to be impossible to win. I'll tell you how it's going to be impossible to win if there's no Parrish like today, and if Jake is seeing the 7 cents, how you said earlier, he sees ghosts or whatever.
Yes.
Those are the only two things. Listen, as long as special teams plays how they did today, the running game is averaging near 5 a pop like they did today. There's no drops. There's minimal penalties, and there's no turnovers. You have a fighting chance because FSU, they're not world beaters. I'm sorry. They have a 6'7" receiver and a quarterback that's a better runner than a passer. I'm sorry. My defense is pretty good. I like my chances, and it's at home, and it's a night game, and there's going to be people there. There's not going to be there's going to be a college atmosphere, how TVD likes. So I like my chances.
Sean's entertained with you right now.
Yeah, Sean has his forehead in his palm. I don't know why. You picked him to win today.
I even said.
Yeah, it was one of those. I picked him to win, but I really didn't think they were going to win.
People are going to be there. Yeah, I saw the game, Wade County. They didn't score a touchdown. You want to know what happened too? They won. Get out of here.
This is not a game to brag about.
I'm happy that they won. I don't want them limping into F. Do you know how important that is?
They're not limping. They're on crutches right now.
Do you know how important that is?
They're dragging ass right now.
FSU is not world beaters. People are just conceding this game like FSU is actually good.
I'm kind of conceding the game because of Jake Garcia. If Tyler Van Dyke was there, then I'm with you. I give him a chance. By the way, Florida's on the power play. What's the chances they score? Yes, exactly. There's a better chance that Jake Garcia beats FSU than the Panthers scoring on a power play.
So what? Their power play's not good this year?
No. You know how bad their power play is? It's as bad as the Canes football team.
It's early in the season, though.
Actually, the Canes got a better percentage in wins losses than they do in the power play.
Well, they're shooting the lights out. There's 12 minutes left in the second period, and there's 34 shots on goal.
Yeah, I know. Problem is they're like 3 and 402 on the power play.
Damn. I mean, the season's not even 10 games old, though, right?
Oh, Tkachuk got injured?
Oh.
Yes, Tkachuk got injured.
He's not going to the locker room, though. That's good.
At the moment, he's just sitting down. Let's see. Oh, I see. They shoved a stick into his back and then his ribs. Wow. So look at that.
No penalty?
I mean, they just pounded the crap out of the guy with the he's just beaten up. Unless they cracked a rib or something.
FSU fans will show up in droves. Yeah, they normally do. They normally do, especially for that one, a night game, you expect that. I'm getting some emails here from Miami's SID and their stats. I normally get emails post-game.
No, don't read the stats.
Transcript.
It's just bad.
No. I'm looking for the post-game transcript, but he hasn't sent that yet. We were trying to get Mario, and we weren't able to do that. So updated season stats is what I have, and then the full game stats from this game. I normally get a transcript, so let's see if we get that in the next couple of minutes. What about players of the game? Anybody in the chat? I got a few. LT probably leads the list, right? Henry Parrish.
Taylor.
LT, Letter Taylor, 56. Henry Parrish, for sure. The defense as a unit, I guess. How about that? What do you guys see in the chat?
I thought the D-line did a good job overall, dude. Because they didn't really allow them to run on them. They didn't allow them to get pushed around. I was really happy with the D-line overall in their play. I got to give them some credit. They controlled. I mean, listen, the defense is what won this.
Yes. Yeah.
Because basically they didn't allow them to score anything pretty much and keep the game, always within reach. Hell, they even went for that 4th down to try to score a touchdown on them, and the defense stopped them. So if you want me to give you an overall, I'm going to go overall defense there. I got to give the defense some love. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. to get you ready for the Dolphins and I think the Lions or something like that it's called. Yeah, Lions, yeah, all that stuff. Anyway, so we'll do that. 11 a.m. we'll be coming live to you. Then we'll come up post-game and cover everything. And remember, next week, come on out here, 5:30, starts our pregame show here at Walk-Ons. This place is going to be packed. So come on out early, have some fun, watch the college games, and your chance to win all kinds of prizes. All right? So on behalf of Yanira, Joe, Jason Semino, the executive chef here, as always, Sean Stanley, who masters this entire platform every single day, Mike McCoy, yours truly, Orlando Alzugaray, and the amazing staff out here at Walk-Ons in Kendall, which we can't say enough of all the folks out here, from the servers to the bartenders to the chefs, everybody, man. Great stuff, great food, great service. We love coming out here for all of the Canes games. So let's pack it in next week. Let's get pumped up, man. Let's hope that the Canes can pull it out and get it done. But we thank all of you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.
This has been the Edge Energy Drink Miami Hurricanes postgame show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. Live from Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shope. When you're looking for the finest energy drink on the planet, you can only get it delivered to your home or office by going to myedgedrink.com. Use your code Big O and get 10% off an energy drink that's delicious, smooth, and has zero aftertaste. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. On behalf of our staff, we thank you for supporting us. Have a fantastic week.